Hi. I always look forward to our Tuesday night broadcasts. I hope you do too. I just love listening to the musicians. And this week we have a very special concert for you. You know, usually we are broadcasting recent concerts in BPO history, but this week we're going back a little further to June 6th, 2004, which was a very special day for us because we played a concert at Carnegie Hall. We returned to Carnegie Hall after an absence of 16 years. So of course it was a very important moment for us and a very wonderful moment for me because it was the first time that I had the opportunity of conducting the BPO on the stage of Carnegie. And we chose a great program. We opened up with a piece by Zoltán Kodály, his Dances of Galánta. Now, Kodály may not be as well known as his friend and colleague Béla Bartók, but he was a Hungarian patriot as well. He loved his people, he loved their music, their dances, and he used all of his Hungarian background in writing great music. Kodály actually grew up in a tiny town in Hungary called Galánta, from which the Dances of Galánta takes its name. And it was really a very small town with only one important claim to fame, and that was that it had the greatest gypsy band in Europe. So Kodály grew up with these musicians, hearing their music day and night, playing with their children, absorbing this wonderful gypsy Hungarian heritage. So when the Budapest Philharmonic, many years later, when Kodály was 50, asked him to write a piece for them, he remembered these very special melodies and this very special and happy time in his life in Galánta. And he created a piece that is just a masterpiece, filled with syncopation, filled with wild virtuoso solos for the woodwinds, incredible string writing, wonderful sense of dance and energy. It actually turned the Buffalo Philharmonic into a gypsy band in the most wonderful way. I hope you love this piece as much as we do. The main piece on our Carnegie program was a wonderful tone poem by Alexander Zemlinsky, a beautiful piece in 3 movements based upon the story of the famous fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen, The Little Mermaid. Now, Alexander Zemlinsky had a very personal reason for writing this story, unrequited love. He had fallen deeply in love with Alma Schindler, who was supposedly the most beautiful girl in Vienna, but she did not love him in return. She spurned him very cruelly and took up with Gustav Mahler, whom she later married. Zemlinsky never got over the loss, and he always had this great pain, and he wrote this piece partly to express his empathy with the Little Mermaid and the unrequited love of the prince. Because as you remember, the Little Mermaid saves the prince in a shipwreck, falls deeply in love with him, sells her voice to the sea witch. The sea witch, beautifully played by Sal and Dalina on the bass clarinet in the 2nd movement, for a pair of legs so she can be human. She goes ashore, but the prince has fallen in love with someone else and marries her. The Little Mermaid, in her grief and in her sorrow, throws herself off a cliff, and because she is human now and not a mermaid, she drowns. At the very end, you'll hear in the music, she rises up as a spirit, as an angel, and goes to heaven. A beautiful story and beautiful music. I was so proud of how the orchestra played this extraordinary work by Alexander Zemlinsky. The audience loved it too, and we had an encore ready and we played it, and it was great. And this was SMETANA, Overture to the Bartered Bride, and you'll hear that. Remember, you're hearing your BPO not on the stage of Kleinhans this week, but on the stage of Carnegie Hall. I hope you enjoy it.